Now that the campaign for election is starting, many times you have a chance to see our dear President, President Trump. And when you see a president to such an extent, he's a president not only of the United States, he has power over the world, as we see that he can change things around the world with his decisions. Do you say a bracha that the Gemara brings down, and the Shulchan Aruch is posek in Siman Resh Kaf Dalet? It says in the halacha, when you see Malchei Umot HaOlam, Ovdei Kochavim, Omer Baruch Shenatan Mikvodo Lebasar Vadam. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave from his honor to Basar Vadam, to people. Who gets such an honor? A king. A king gets such an honor. Is such a president considered a king? Also, there was just a Hanukkah party, and there were Jewish people in that Hanukkah party. Do they say beracha when they see President Trump? So over here in the Mishnah Berurah, it seems like not, because the Mishnah Berurah says, what does it mean? Baruch Shenatan Mikvodo, Hashiltonim she'en ol melech alehem leshanot divrehem, Vedan vehoreg b'mishpat, which means the king himself has the complete right to do whatever he wants. He has nobody on top of him, not a Senate, not House of Representatives. He can do whatever he wants, and it doesn't seem like that from the way things run in this country. But Chacham Ovadia, after he brings the Radbaz, he brings, it says the same exact thing. He says that it needs to be that he has such powers to kill if he decides that this one should be executed and so on. He says from the Radbaz and Rabbeinu Avraham Av Beddin, he says that still you might be able to say beracha because he has a right to sign off or to agree to such a decree. So if somebody is getting executed, the president could pardon him and let him go. A president could also decide that, yes, I'm signing off that he would get executed, and so on. Since a president holds such powers, Chacham Ovadia says that such a president is fit to say the bracha. But, says Chacham Ovadia, that there are few poskim that say that it's only when a king is dressed differently than regular people. This is how the Nifchar Mikesef, Rav Yeshaya Pinto, brought down in his Sefer. And this is how it says in some other Sefarim like the Zachor LeAvram, that they have to dress differently, that it appears that he is a king. It seems like Chacham Ovadia is posek like that one should say without Shem U'Malchut. But Lemaaseh, it seems like the reasoning still applies to President Trump, because it says over here that the reason is not only the clothing, but rather a person that dresses like regular people, he's not any different than any other person. He looks like a regular person. But when you see President Trump walking, he's with a whole crew and with bodyguards and so on and so forth. Such people obviously fall under this category that they have the glory of a king. And this is how he brings down. He says, for instance, from the Zachor LeAvram, he says, שאם המלך לבוש בגדים אזרחיים, if he wears regular clothing, לבל יכירוהו, פשוט שאין לברך עליו ברכת המלך. He wears such clothing in order to disguise himself, that he doesn't look like a king. If that's the reason, of course, when you see such a president, he doesn't look like a regular person. On the contrary, they close the entire places that he walks by, blocks and blocks. There's a lot of armed guards around him, fancy cars. So if he wears a suit, also the suits that he wears, he doesn't wear any cheap suits. It's a whole glory thing that you're seeing. I think is deserving of a bracha, and one that sees our dear president would be zochet to say such a bracha. And Chachamim tell us that if you have a chance, there's a mitzvah de Rabbanan, larutz lirot malchei umot ha'olam. So one that has a chance like that, whether it's in a Hanukkah party like it was, it's not so easy to get in, or in a rally that is going to be now for elections, obviously, that would be a correct thing to do, besides the fact that I think it's correct to support such a person that really does so much for Klal Yisrael.